bless America.
Oh.
4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Cheating. It's a dream. You should get that. Let's go! My face, sir! Hello and welcome everybody to Nickel City X-Wing. My name is Greg and it is X-Wing 2.5 Thursday. I thought it was Tuesday for a second. That would have been bad. I am not alone though. I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the one who likes garlic bread perhaps a little more than the rest of us, even though I really do enjoy garlic bread, so I'm willing to fight on that. It's Mark. What's up, dude?
Well, just hanging around.
All right, fair enough.
That's really literally my experience with this version of the game. Like, I only have like 15 games of 2.5 in, but I just wanted to chill with you, and this seems like the easiest way.
Fair. Has its ups, has its ups. Would you call him a herald? I don't get it. What am I missing? I never Psych makes all these jokes and they just go above my head and they make me feel dumb.
I don't get it. Oh, Psych has noticed what I was about to comment on. Catherine's flying one I-5A wing, which technically has force more or less, and a 4 Y-wings, which is what she took to the runner-up position in the Hoth Galactic Qualifier.
Yeah, and you know what? Catherine about to start some shit because she did not bring wartime loadout, which was a big topic of discussion today in the Discord. The value
I
of
did
wartime
not follow
loadout.
that discussion. Let me go check through it quick.
It's not that bad. It's just like, hey, I think someone was like, I haven't seen a lot of wartime loadout, and people were like, nah, I've seen it more and more. And then Catherine's like, fuck your wartime loadout. I'm putting it on targeting computers. I'm getting free calculates after I take locks.
Which could function as additional health for the loadout or additional firepower and more consistency with the control with the ion. It's like the wartime. It's where do you want your consistency in? Do you want health with the wartime loadout, or do you want like just device modifications with the network? What not networked? Whatever it's called, the default intuitive interface.
Right.
I can't speak to how to play with objectives with those because I haven't touched resistance in 2.5.
Well, I think this draw. By the way, this game is a salvage mission. We drew salvage mission. I think this matchup actually favors Catherine pretty heavily because these Y-wings don't do a lot of red maneuvers to begin with, or advanced maneuvers, I should say.
And it's also one of the most intensely number driven scenarios because as your ships are running away, like the satellites in like the other scenarios are just static; they're not moving around. Like you can take over that ground. Someone has to move away from a certain location, more or less, for it to be reclaimed or maybe picked apart to gain points off the ship and the scenario. In this instance, it heavily encourages running around and just having more people, and having those objectives snatched up and then running away from you makes it harder to come back.
Yeah, we know that A-wings are just elite objective vehicles, just absolute monsters in the objective game, especially RZ2s who will never need to turn around. They just never need to do it. And I think these Y-wings are actually pretty good for salvage.
I remember in one of my first 2.0 games at the local store, like when they started opening up 2.0 nights more regularly, there's one guy who would just consistently bring pattern analyzer and prockets on resistance A-wings. Because his thought was, and this is back when prockets were 7 points, his thought was like, I'm going to K-turn, I'm going to focus and boost and get all stressed, get my procket off, and then he didn't have a plan after that.
Yeah, we should probably go down the list. You want Catherine's or do you want Oscars? Betting is open, baby.
I should show balance here, and especially since Oscar is Polish and I am genetically Polish, so I'll probably
You
take
gotta
Oscar's. You
stick.
could take Catherine's.
Okay, so from Warsaw to Warsaw. Get it? Listen,
Yeah.
that wasn't my greatest. Anyway, I like pierogies, so take us down Oscar's list.
Okay, so we got 2 shuttles and 2 double tap tie aggressors, and because squad points do not count against your 20 points or whatever the terminology is, like I'm just here to vibe with Greg. These are loaded to the gills. We got Kagi, a shuttle who can take locks away from vulnerable ships onto himself, which is very useful against munitions. He's got fire control, which seems weird, but there's Jended to give locks out, so he gets the rerolls anyway. Heavy laser cannon, because sometimes these actually do get bullseyes on these shuttles, and especially with high ship counts. Mr. Trois, who's just really good for being defensive and being able to add those coordinates and stuff. And Seventh Sister, who's a force token or tractor someone or jam, but you can't tractor people into obstacles anymore. And a target computer, forgot about that. Jendon, he's the one who turns everyone into an E-Wing, but better. He's got an ion cannon and the heavy laser cannon, so if extra control and the bullseye. Captain Hark, who is a focus version of R4P17, if he does a red maneuver, aka the stop or a turn, he gets a focus token for twice a game. Static discharge vanes, which I thought were banned, but apparently we're here. And
We're
SU321.
playing it. We're playing extended.
Oh,
All of our
okay.
games are 2.5 extended.
And ST321 allows you to lock enemy ships up to range 0 to 3 of friendly ships you coordinate. So there's a lot of efficiency in these shuttles. They're tanky, they're supportive, and they can put out some pain, hypothetically. And we have 2 Onyx Squadron Scouts, who are TIE aggressors. They got elusive, dorsal turrets, and veteran turret gunner. So they may not be the most durable, but they might be able to put out some pain. How much do they cost? Oh, 4 apiece. Oh, okay. I guess this
Yeah,
is a meme list.
they're pretty expensive. This is
Do
this
you
is an
want
archetype list I've never seen before in
to?
2.5.
Do you want a calibrated laser targeting Jedi, or hear me out, an Onyx Squadron Scout?
Yeah, just some of the prices I don't understand. I'm hoping they'll fix, but we'll see. All right, for Catherine, she's running ZZ Slow with crack shot, heroic concussion missiles, and a hull upgrade. Wilsa Teshlo with a dorsal turret, Connor nets, targeting computer. Teza Naz with an ion cannon turret, Connor nets, and a targeting computer. Lega Fossing with an ion cannon turret, cluster mines, and a targeting computer. And Chorus Capellum, who I've never heard of. For your engagement, choose one ship in your firing, range 0 to 1. If you do, transfer one green token from that ship to yourself. Okay. With an ion cannon turret, prox mines, and a targeting computer.
If
So,
you think, sorry.
good.
If you think Chorus's ability sounds pretty scummy, it is both very similar to Palob, the hawk who steals green tokens from enemy ships for getting too close to him, and B, I was actually looking on Wikipedia for all of Catherine's pilots while we're waiting to start the game, and apparently he'd probably be more at home with Scum than Resistance lore-wise, and his whole thing was he'd come to like previously occupied worlds or battles, and they just steal a bunch of first order stuff and then sell them back to like the original owners. So like his ability is centered around stealing green tokens, which is a neat little touch.
I do love when they
Also,
flavor things like that. I'm a huge fan of when they flavor pilots in that kind of way.
Wilsa Teshlo, she's a bit of a pirate herself, and like she'd hunt down like very specific systems of ships when taking down particularly cargo ships. So her ability to deactivate charges based on dealing critical damage is a bit flavorful. And then Tezanaz, everyone sees Bad Howl Runner, which ability is really hard to keep track of, let alone trigger. But it is Howl Runner adjacent, and she was actually part of the Empire. And then once it fell, she became a warlord and then joined the Resistance. So we got a little extra fluff with her and a little bit of a civil war going on.
Interesting. Looks like we're gonna get a early target lock here. Target lock for safety. Shuttles do have jam.
And the shuttles are moving after some of these Y-Wings. So, wait, what are the initiatives? Yeah, some of the shuttles are moving after some of the ships.
This is round one, up to a 12-round game. I don't think we've had a game yet go 12 rounds. That wasn't a chance encounter, so I'm not expecting.
So when I saw your call for commentators on the Discord, I was thinking, considering my opinions on the game, and which I won't share because this is a fun party time, and how little I've played this version of the game, I thought I'm probably the least qualified in your whole server to do so. But then I thought, there's only 4 turns in a 2.5 game on average. That's a lot of downtime. That's just a lot of time to just talk nonsense.
Yeah, games don't last as long. Well, okay, they last a good amount of time without gosh, what am I trying to say? The minutes they last is roughly the same, but the rounds is not.
Yeah.
There's our first claim in the salvage mission. Again, none of these ships on the board here are really all that interested in getting doing advanced maneuvers, so it should not be a problem for anyone to pick up.
Actually, it pushes up eyeglasses and says "actually" with buck teeth. Well, Captain Hark, who is on Colonel Jendon, his whole shtick is being able to get focus tokens to mod even after he does red maneuvers. And some of his red maneuvers, or I guess just to stop is one of his red maneuvers. So that's an advanced maneuver. So it might inconvenience Captain Colonel Jendon.
Stop is an advanced maneuver, but also think on the shuttles. All their turns are red as well.
Yeah, so I was going to get at, like, is he going to prioritize just holding back and keeping that base of fire open, which, again, I don't know is a thing in this mission in 2.0. Like, I would not know. But being able to turn a little faster and have mods might also be the application for it.
Catherine claiming now. I wonder if ZZ went 5 forward and was like, I'll just try and tank 2 shots here to... Yeah, absolutely.
And she did, but this is what I love about Catherine's loadout for ZZ. So she's got the concussion missiles, right? So it's a great munition. Oh, well, she's claiming, but suppose there's a different scenario and she's going for the snipe. Concussion missiles, like, they're great range control. They give her extra dice and deny range bonus on the defender, but she still gets her extra green dice when defending against primaries and cannons and stuff. So you fire the concussion missile, which has a lot better chances of hitting than your little A-wing primaries at that range, and then you get your defensive token, and now you still have modded defense with extra dice while getting to roll extra dice on offense. It's a really good generalist loadout. It's just unfortunate that the mission selection was, hey, you got to use your speed to go grab these objectives.
Yeah, but I mean, the same concept's going to apply, right? Like, she's taking a pot shot. Yeah. She doesn't care if it does damage here.
Right.
She just wants to take the shot to get the token.
Grab the token. Well, in this situation, it does matter a bit because it means with how few turns the game will be, how no one's in that area, and how her objective is to hold on to the crate and live, because this is the fortressing scenario. There's no way she's going to kill something unless, like, she gets, like, a crit chain on, like, say, the TIE aggressor.
Oh, the crit went through.
Oh,
the shield goes through on Jendon, and that's going to cause Jendon to drop the salvage container.
And that is unfortunate. Here we see the excellent shove the container back strategy. And most ships don't have reverses or means of acquiring things after reversing. And you have to use your action to grab containers. You can't be coordinated container grabs. There isn't anyone on the baseline rushing to grab previously dumped containers. So that container is pretty much just out as far as Oscar is concerned,
I
which
think
could
it's
be
it's
game
out as
changing.
far as the game is concerned. Like those Y-wings are super far from it. I'll be if they end up making their way around. I mean, it's going to take them 4 or 5 turns just to get there. I
Well,
think
well,
we
well,
might
I
not
was
see that.
thinking, I was thinking maybe ZZ might actually grab it on one of the few turns of the game just to like ultimately seal the deal.
You can't. You can only carry one.
Oh, that's right.
She
She's already
she already
carried.
has one, so you can't carry another one. Yeah, Desi in chat's like that cargo isn't getting picked up again, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
That might actually be a game prolonger, taking one available point out.
Well, it's this is the fortressing scenario, which is massively ironic, but it means that like that's going to be not just a single point that Oscar's not going to have; it's going to be a recurring point that he's not going to have.
Easy gets the 3 squiggles just in time. This is going to be a 2v4 pot shot here for the blue Onyx.
Oh,
It's
there's a
hit
crit.
crit. Hit crit. Zizi just wants to see 2 paint. Gets it.
Evades.
OA wings. Who knew? So that is going to end the shooting in this round. And that means we're going to get 2 objective points for Catherine. 1 for Oscar, who has to be feeling a little bummed that he didn't.
I think it's humorous that you shoot a ship not necessarily based on its health ratio or likelihood to kill or how much of a threat it poses, but it's like, I don't like you carrying that cargo. I'll shoot you, then run away from you.
I mean, that's one of the only ways to get the cargo off.
Yeah.
Is getting that crit through. I imagine ZZ's going fast and just gonna focus rotate. One other thing that's happening now is those you don't have to worry about, or like Jendin can just stop. Jendin doesn't have the restrictions anymore.
Yeah, and he's also got Captain Hark, so if he just stops, he's got to focus on a nice wide arc. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming that this. Now
So
ZZ goes. Oh, go ahead.
I wouldn't hate like a 1 bank from the Onyx and just rotate the arc and see if you can't trap ZZ
Yeah.
in the thing. The thing about the lambdas, right? Like I love lambdas, but the dial is just garbage.
Wait, but okay, so lambdas are excellent support ships in 2.0, but in 2.5, because there's just so much material on the board and just so few turns in the game, like all ships that have poor time on target instantly have that problem like mitigated vastly because the game isn't developing to a point where that weakness actually becomes as relevant as say in a 12 round or 15 round 2.0 game. So that's why, and in addition to the different squad building rules, that's why you see lambdas loaded up a bit meaner and a bit more aggressively. Um, ooh, speaking of lambdas, here's a Y-wing locking Kagi and gaining a calculate.
That really is a good ability, like for the Y Wing. It just kind of sucks that you have to put your like I kind of like that you have to choose between what you do in there, like the wartime or that ability. And that's a good ability. And my fear here is that, oh man, that 5 straight. I think that probably bumps. And I think this might be a classic trap here from Jay.
This is what I was about to say. A too hard starboard, but I wasn't able to describe if the 5 forward could be bumped the way Oscar was going to set it up. And I just felt I just make a fool out of myself the whole time, and Oscar would show us if it was actually going to happen.
And Oscar uses green to pick up another cargo. So he's evened up the cargo game, which is a good job by him setting his ships up to not get outscored multiple rounds in a row, assuming no terrible luck here.
That's the name of the. Here, there's a too hard away from the cloud with Kagi. Really nice, wasting all the Y-Wings time as well. He might get to pick up the other cargo.
He's
maybe
got a
we were
cargo,
wrong.
so he can't.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't looking. I keep forgetting about that.
But him kiting those Y-Wings is like you said, a massive time sink for these Y-Wings.
Oh, and red's completely out of range.
Blue, judging by this, blue might have a shot, but it's not a very good one.
And it's against the only force sensitive ship on the whole board today.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see these Y-Wings turn in next turn. Just because I don't see them wanting to spend their whole game chasing.
Oh, and there it is. ZZ does not have arc on the Jendon, and Jendon has a range 1 shot.
Yeah, Jendon's got the range 1 shot, but you're allowed to shoot at range 0, and she can spend her ability to be focus evaded range 1.
I was thinking this was a brilliant move. This was going to be demonstrating what words were filling me to describe. And she's actually going to get token stacked anyway. Oh, yeah. Man.
This is why I'm not a huge fan of the red focus. Situations like this are kind of rewarded for like a bad play.
Yeah.
It's easy too. She's going to get hits in, maybe. Yeah, 2.
Everything about this is wrong. Maybe I shouldn't say something so controversial. This is a 2.5 stream in after all. But
surprised he didn't use elusive there. That is shield hit.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised too. What we were about to say regarding the Y-Wings turn again, it's like, again, this is a sort of meme list with Oscar, and he's paying Jedi prices for glorified V19s. So if that Onyx is anywhere near those Y-Wings coming up the board, then he's just messed up. So they'll probably herd him to the top of the board.
Well, you do get a big shot here with Jendon, but a token stack ZZ with heroic.
It's not happening. I mean, if he hits out, then he'll get a damage in, but it's pretty unlikely that he does anything meaningful.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Like that's a great roll, but again, what used to be. Oh, yeah, he has to lock. Oh, he's got fire control. He doesn't need to spend.
Oh, wish he had a force or palp or something.
Yeah.
Oh, and heroic.
There's heroic.
God, I got excited for a second. All right, so that's gonna be a
underroll. So
and that's gonna make her drop,
which will allow the Onyx next turn to pick up.
Beautifully done there. And I think Desi, that means that one at the bottom's about to get picked up again. If I'm ZZ, that's what I'm going for.
ZZ still has 4 health, and she'll be past most of the danger next turn.
Yeah, so I'm thinking ZZ's out of it now. She's probably 3 banking.
I'm thinking you 3 bank, evade boost, and the next turn just 2 forward evade. No, not evade. Grab cargo and evade, and just all the whole time
you shoot before Kagi, so you can still get your defensive token. Although range 1 shots, anytime there's more reds coming at you than you have greens, that's a dangerous situation.
Even if you have a token stack, and even if the reds are only partially modded.
So Oscar picks up 2 there. Wait, does he?
I'm not keeping track.
Picks up 1. Oh, yeah, 2, because Green has 1. So 2 there for Oscar, 1 for Catherine. We've got a 3-3 game headed into the third. I think we should call them innings instead of rounds.
Innings imply that you're like changing sides.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
How about frames? Just make the whole analogy just broken and non-working.
Guess you can call
So
it pretty much anything.
if you score 2 more points than your opponent, you get a strike for that frame. If you score 1 more point than your opponent, you get a spare for that frame.
X-Wing bowling. Who's down?
Well, Y-Wings are set up sort of like pins. Someone just send down an electroproton their way.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I was actually thinking prior to the game start when we were setting up, like, man, if only more people believed in Electro Chaff on the Hoth qualifier, which is what I would have flown if I weren't had time for it. But again, like I wouldn't have called going to the cut or anywhere near like that. But the reason why I'm saying that is Electro Chaff really messes with that resistance list that the winner played with, and which Pim had done really well with at LVO. And if it just cannibalized that resistance list a little bit, maybe Catherine's A3Ys could have brought glory to Nickel City, but
Anything with shields, the Electro Traff is great with.
yeah. And just Ion, it just and the jam, it just messes. Well, I was thinking of Electro Proton with the Ion, but the jam really messes with the full mods of that resistance list. That being said, it was quite an achievement of Catherine for Hoth.
I mean, I don't think there's a better Y-Wing player that I've seen, at least.
It's probably because, like, I think she talked about this in one of the 2.0 games we played during. Well, no, we only played one during the qualifiers or whatever, the Lamu or something. She's commenting that people just see Y-wings as bricks you throw at people, and there is a subtlety to pretty much every ship, and you have to respect that subtlety in order to like fully maximize your use from it. Fact that like she's willing to look at Y-wings more than just bricks you throw at people, just pushes that, gives a little edge in raising the skill ceiling. Speaking of subtleties in ships, like again, we're talking about the time on target with shuttles. Like the inclination thought is like, oh, I got to reinforce. I don't want my squishier pieces caught by stuff. I'll just fling the shuttles, reinforce, and hope that they'll chew down while I do more important things with my less vulnerable ships. Oscar is using that not enthusiastically thought of by other people too hard of Kagi. It's like disengage with a shuttle running cargo, and he's prioritizing that rear arc just kiting to stay safe and chip away, which is really neat. So we got 2 players here who can really appreciate the finer aspects or the lesser looked aspects of various crafts.
Yeah, I think what's important for Oscar right now is he has a pretty healthy obstacle lead. It's going to be 3-1 this turn if everything holds. So he is able to right now really dictate the game.
I know you meant objective lead, but what you said, obstacle
he also
lead,
leads in
also is very
obstacles.
appropriate because he's pulling the Y-wings through the obstacles, which will split them up a bit or force them to risk the obstacle consequences.
Yeah. And the obstacle consequences amongst my favorite changes in 2.5.
I actually love those changes. Yeah. 2.2, like I know my TTO club affiliation thing says FFG Wing 2.0 for life, but 2.25 was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, um, I think the obstacle changes are really good. I'm pretty vocal about what I don't like, and I think it's okay for me to be vocal about what I do like as well.
Yep.
And this is definitely one of the pieces that I'm a fan of. I think I would like to see a barrel roll by ZZ here. That gets you out of all shots. And I think puts
she's
you in a
got
good
range
position.
2 to blue and range 1 butt shot from yellow. Like
If she goes
some
forward, I think the butt
reposition and
shot from
shoot.
yellow might be out. Yeah, the butt shot from yellow is out right there, but the gosh, she
Oh yeah,
might be
you're
out of
right.
range. She might be out of range too, but it's not really worth it. I think if you barrel roll here, you're in great position to 3-bank next turn, pick up the thing, and go face to face with Kagi with a little help from the blue wide wing, which is Chorus. Or
She's
you know what?
going
Hey,
to full turtle, which isn't a bad strategy.
I actually don't mind that because you're only taking the one shot from the aggressor. You get to shoot first, so
Yeah.
you'll be tokened up.
You'll have an evade token. And you have heroic, and it's a 2-die gun, so it is highly unlikely that she's gonna take any damage from this.
Ooh, 2 crits. That is beautiful.
And she also gets the damage into Kagi, or not Kagi, Jendon.
Yep, that is 1 into Jendon, just a shield. Jendon isn't carrying, so doesn't do anything.
What matters is now you make it a near impossibility, not a near impossibility, 2.25%, which is a lot more likely than a lot of us are comfortable with. But Catherine knows what she's doing and in range.
Is the shot on the Y-Wing better? It's 2v3 versus 2 or 3v5.
Okay, so the math is better to hit on the Y-Wing, but the aggressor also has range 2 on ZZ, and I believe that's what takes it into slightly better.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Consider the other shot. And a full string of hits there. You might be able to strip some tokens. Celebrate, thank you so much for the subscription with Prime.
Oh, no token strips.
Ah, tough break, but that's okay. I mean, I don't think you go into this game thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna kill ZZ." Like,
no,
I didn't go into any 2.5 games with like the attitude of, "Oh, I'm gonna kill ZZ." I'm just like, she's gonna live. She's gonna live forever. There's nothing I can do about it.
not unless you have specifically a high munition list or a high focus fire double tap.
Or like wedge or something, like something that like fucks with it.
Well, if we're talking about Rebels, I was actually thinking of what Travis Johnson was flying for Adepticon, the Ursa Ren exploit with Chewie and R3 and stuff. Like, you just have all your double taps with double mods and just burn things down before they can claim objectives.
No problem there. No shot for Jendon. Jendon's in a tough place right now because I think Jendon's going to bump next turn. That, of course, could be an extra damage. Yeah, I mean, plenty of health, but...
Half points don't matter in this format. Again, But
you don't want to donate health if you don't have to.
No, you don't, but based on how fast the Y-Wings are going, and it's just 1 health if he hurts himself, and how, like, again, this is a fortressing scenario, you probably aren't worried about Jendon if it means you'll get some more shots with him.
I think that's another shield on Kagi.
Yeah, Kagi.
So Oscar scoring 3 points there. Catherine only 1. Oscar opens up the 2-point lead as we head to turn 4.
Nicely changing things after that surprise cargo yeets at the very start of the game.
Yeah, I think Kagi's job right now is block ZZ. Make it so she can't pick up the thing and get yourself another 2-point
turn. Now, here's the thing with ZZ. You know that Kagi's eyeballing your chances of picking up the cargo, and he knows he's probably not going to kill you. You just like two bank with ZZ, so it's impossible for Kagi to block your obstacle. I mean, not your action. So you just grab the cargo.
Oh, you're like a
Like two bank port
left?
side. Yeah, to the
Yeah.
left. The counterintuitive two bank left. Because like he can't stop that.
That feels like taking a shot for no reason. Oh my gosh, Max, thank you so much for the sub. I miss you, buddy. Dude, Monday nights we're doing Legacy Night. If 2.5 isn't your jam, we do have Legacy Nights available. And if you guys haven't, why not check out Yavin Base for all your Star Wars Legion needs. I personally don't understand Legion at all. It takes forever, and I just don't.
I understand parts of it, and I see it as a better hygiene, far cheaper and less toxic Warhammer, which is a really cool concept.
Yeah, I get why people like it. It's just not me. I think I'm like tapped out on games I have to buy a bunch of shit for. Like I buy so much X-Wing shit that I just never even get around to using.
Yeah. Plus, there's a lot of good, really good standalone games, or like games that like are just good out of the box. And if you want to expand it a little more instead of buying a new game, there's some excellent expansions for them.
Right.
Like in the 2.0 Discord, we were talking a lot about terraforming Mars and Agricola and that kind of stuff. Would you stream a Twilight Imperium game if it meant Tim would actually, like, no jokes, do a 90% off as Etsy for you?
I don't know what Twilight Imperium is.
It's a 7-hour space politics empire FFG game. It's a board game.
It kind of sounds cool.
It takes roughly 7 hours, but it is an epic.
All right, well, if Pim commits to 90% off, 100% marathon stream. Desi says it's a really cool, fun game. You know what we should stream is like Secret, I guess, Star
Secret
Wars
Hitler?
Secret, yeah, but like Palpatine.
Achieve. Oh, I know. I can't remember the names of the various roles, but one of the Nazi roles could be like Darth Jar Jar. because like in Secret Hitler, you're trying to get Hitler elected if you're the fascists, and trying to like snuff him out if you're the liberals. But like if you're the fascists, just be like Darth Jar Jar because he's the one who gives Sheev the emergency chancellor powers.
Yeah, I haven't actually played Secret Hitler, but I assume it's kind of like a werewolf type game, is it not?
It is like Werewolf, except it is significantly better in terms of like deduction and who's sniffing who out. Like a lot of Werewolf and Mafia just starts off with random accusations because people are bloodthirsty. Secret Hitler, you actually give people reasons to be bloodthirsty, as like the president gives like the policies over to the chancellor, and then based on who says what, but no one's allowed to fully confirm it, and who's confirming with what. Like, there's a lot more to go off to have your deductions and mind games going on. It's like, if you love Mafia or Werewolf, give Secret Hitler a try. It is an even better version of those games.
So good maneuvering here by Oscar as he sees managing to not bump ships. Well played.
A lot of people comment on the absence of the tactical bump or the mitigation of it in 2.5. But here we have Oscar demonstrating something that wasn't fully explored in 2.0 just because like it either meant you were doing something wrong or a tactical bump would just be better. It's just the moving everything in like a slide puzzle just to not get bumped and get your arcs in place.
Yeah, and you know, like I think Nick from 312 Squadron. If you guys haven't, let me give him a shout out as well. He's been doing some cool experimenting with 2.0 as well, with the bump stuff that I like, where it's only like a bump penalty if you're in someone's arc.
Yeah. I like the. I
Sorry,
can't remember.
It's not in someone's arc. Rather.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
can't
it's the
fortress.
anti-fortressing bump.
Yeah.
Which does a better anti-fortress job than here's some cargoes. Please don't grab them and run away forever with them.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
sorry,
think people run too much in this, just because you're typically got a lot faster ships on the line, but there's a lot of, it disincentivizes you to kill. It's not that you don't want to kill; it's just that
you don't want to risk losing your stuff.
Yeah, if there becomes a choice, it gets hard to make the choice. The sensible choice a lot of times is to not try and kill, which is kind of a bummer.
I'm pretty sure that some like rule changes or point changes or just changes in general could help address that issue.
Well, I think bringing half points back actually would help a lot.
Massively.
I think banning shield and hull upgrade on small ships would help a lot.
Yeah.
And just a nice little tweak in how you score points, or how, not how you score points, but how many points you score, would also help quite a bit.
I really like your suggestion for the points, is that objectives only give you points if you have more objective points than your opponent, and you don't gain like the objective points, you gain the difference. So basically crocodile scoring for Desi the Canadian.
Yeah, I see. I'm more hardcore than that. I only want one objective point scored a turn. If you have more, you get one. I don't even want.
I prefer 0 objective points. I have the ships count as objectives. Or
well, I'm saying,
or
like if I had to be, they're not gonna, like, realistically, they're just not going to change their mind on objective scenarios. So like, I would very much rather that only one objective point scored. So the focus really is on killing ships. But if you score, 4 rounds of more points, you only need to kill 16 points worth of ships compared to your opponent's 20. Like, that is a whole ship's difference. It's still very impactful.
Yeah, you want objectives to matter, but you don't want them to be the sole matter, especially when the prefix for the objectives is make people engage more. Which, I mean, like, I could see the argument, like, oh, it makes people engage, makes people shoot more, because, like, their previous experience with that is Marvel Crisis Protocol, which is an objective.
Seven Sister Tractor on ZZ. Love what's happening here.
Oh, with a kingdom for the old tractor rules.
Yeah, for really. Yeah. But, and you know what? That focus is 100% brought to you by, instead of picking up that objective, is 100% brought to you by both these aggressors getting arcs on.
Yep. That reminds me, earlier today I was playing a 2.0 game with my silly Dengar, Lando, Escapecraft, and Zuvia list. Mm-hmm. And my plan was to tractor my opponent onto a rock to kill him. He drops a Proximine on the rock, so now it'll be guarantee kill. Well, I just had an idiotic coordinate so that I bumped my own boat so that I couldn't tractor.
That is
ZZ's a monster.
Kage. Yeah, ZZ is a monster, and more importantly, opens up the door.
The Y-wings to pick up the
drop
leftovers.
Of the crate.
Oh, is that the I-1 going to grab it soon? Yes, it is. The guy we were talking about earlier, who in lore would just go to battle sites and grab first order stuff and give them back to the people they stole it from.
And now ZZ's going to token the F up.
We got the theme.
All right, Kage. Range 1 to ZZ 4v2. This should be two evades, no matter how you cut it. You need a good roll here from Kage.
Yeah.
That's would count. A good roll. Kage gonna spend that target lock.
Oh, he's fire controlling.
Yes!
Ooh, the crits.
2 at least going into ZZ. And it should just stay 2.
Yeah.
So hit crit into ZZ. Shield crit on the hull. ZZ down to 2. Let's see what this crit is. Weapons failure.
Which
You're not
doesn't mean
really.
anything to the
I mean, ZZ is
A-wing
rolling
vents.
fucking firebomb, so maybe that does matter.
Well, like in terms of strategy, like ZZ still shoots to live.
Yeah, ZZ doesn't care.
Yeah.
All right, here is Wilsa. Wilsa has her pick of the aggressors to fire at. Both are range 3 obstructed. So
Well, then you
neither
shoot
is a
blue
great
because
shot.
he's less health and he's pointed in a way that makes it a little more inconvenient to escape.
Fly Maya was like, why did she take a crit? Because there was a quick. Oh, yeah, she was down a shield. So she had one. It was 3 hull, 1 shield. And she took hit crit. So Kagi and ZZ just exchanging absolute bangers on each other.
Kage still has a bunch of health left. ZZ is down to 2, so
Ooh, 2 hits.
it's only 6-4 as of yet. So there might be a universe where through some horrible event, ZZ just dies because she's still tracker and still has to defend against aggressors, right?
Yeah, so she's got at least 2 more shots coming at her.
I think a range 3 AP5
range 3
finger
and a
from
range
Jendon.
2.
There's a range 3. AP5, do your thing.
Yeah, 2v3. Is this the Mummy soundtrack? No, it's not the Mummy soundtrack. That'd be funny though.
Double crits!
It's double crits!
Double
ZZ, you sassy minx. Alright, range 3 into ZZ, 3v3 again. Or sorry, 2v3.
Can you imagine if you had a structural damage?
This is my time. Spends for 1. Oh.
Ooh, has to spend. Leaves her tokenless. It was a troll roll. She had 1 focus, so couldn't heroic. Heroic is OP anyway. Tell Nabi.
Max, see you soon, buddy. I miss you. ZZ does spend. And this is the shot here. 2v2.
This is
Bullseye, none of that matters.
Does not have the double tap active.
No, but 2 hits is good. That is good.
Needs to natty out or heroic out.
Does ZZ? You can't kill her. Why even try?
Oh, man. I'm going to switch to the stream tab and see how much that ZZ actually is. 5 points. Oh, wow.
Lega going downtown on Kagi.
For each friendly ship or calculating, not happening. No remotes.
Hey,
because these objective things are not remotes, right?
No. And that's going to be Kagi's shields down. And, yeah.
Kagi is the one with Minister Schwa, so they'll be able to red reinforcing at the start of combat pretty soon.
Catherine just rolling hot fire. Her attack dice are crazy good. 2v1 here, you're going to get into the hull.
And ZZ evades.
And now the Y-Wings are going to be a huge problem.
Yeah.
Y-Wings come in full health, stacked, ready to shoot. Kagi has been hurt. Bunch of target locks on Kagi. ZZ escapes.
I'm actually not opposed to Kagi one banking and reinforcing.
I was thinking about the one bank as well.
Like, I know the temptation is to use Minister Trois, but let's see. I think one bank zigzag actually puts you pretty close to the board, if not off the board. So you just one bank, white reinforce, and then hard to, and hope you don't get a panic pilot or something like that.
You could one bank. When does Tua take place? When's that
Start
happen?
of combat phase. And
Yeah.
that ship's
So
damaged,
you could
right?
one
Yeah,
bank
so like he
pick
could.
up. One bank pick up. Oh wait, no, you can't Tua because
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
red
that's what I was
reinforce,
saying.
right?
The red reinforce on combat. So you do the one bank, and probably just grab or reinforce. Choose one or the other. Don't try to go for both. I don't like the one forward red focus because you, if anything, you'd want the red reinforce instead. Just if you're gonna bump, just ignore your window for a free focus and take the reinforce instead.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't think you can bank right. Like my idea was bank right, pick up the objective, pick up the reinforce.
Yeah,
But
you'd
that's terrible
if you
because you
had
wouldn't be able to turn on of it.
baffle or if you did one or the other.
Yeah.
It's another interesting thing. Like maybe I know this is there are more pressing matters to attend to with how the game moves forward. I'd like to see like just a little more nuance in the rules of bumping with focus and stuff because a lot of ships are just completely fine with taking the red focus, and a lot of other ships just really would rather not take that stress.
Yeah, it's such an advantage for a ship like a Silencer or a Fang or an A-Wing.
Yeah,
Anything that ends up every turn stressed anyway does not care. And
yeah,
it's such a disadvantage to like an FO bomber
yeah.
or these
Which
lambdas.
which as was designed in second edition was you go bump someone, then you boost and bomb them.
Yeah.
That whole pack doesn't really like the new focus rules. The Whisper, it's more things getting focused, and you don't really want to red focus when you bump because you don't have hard turns yourself.
I haven't really seen many people be like the focus rule is objectively good. I think most people are either neutral on it or don't like it.
I used to not like it, but then my attention got drawn by other rules.
Yeah, it does feel kind of like not the issue, like
Yeah. It's like, yeah, my sink is broken, but the fire going on is a little more pressing. I'm sorry, this is not this. This is stuff I promised myself I wouldn't talk about on the stream because I just wanted to vibe with you today.
here is the road roll. That is gonna go to Catherine.
All in all, it's a close game because Oscar has a lead that he's built up with objectives, but now Catherine's strength and numbers are coming in against a slightly chewed up by ZZ Empire list. And these, although they cost the same as Calibre Laser Targeting Jedi, these Onyx Squadron Sentries, they're not quite as durable.
They're not as durable and they're not as offensive.
And they're not as mobile.
Yeah, there's really no reason for them to be priced like this.
Well, Oscar has
cloud.
Oscar has a very good reason, and it's funny, and he's sure that it's a good challenge to put himself to see, like, hey, can I do something good with this ship?
Avoids the ion there from green, and I think the message from Catherine here is I do not care about a strain.
Yeah.
My
There's
Y-Wings
not
have
nowhere
so
near enough
much
time to
health.
kill.
You don't have enough firepower to make me regret it.
Even if everything lined up and the double turrets pointed that way, it'd be irrelevant. It's
Now,
also I3. So.
Chorus did also pick up an objective, so Catherine has evened it out.
Oh, yeah, she breaks her locks because she went over the cloud. Which, oh, it's one fewer lock.
All locks break when you go over a cloud, which can make a cloud a strategic play sometimes.
I remember, I think it was Duncan Howard talking about LVO, and when he was flying Maul Django, like he actually brought clouds along for that exact purpose. Like he'd break locks with them as he runs away. And funny thing, and the question is like, wait, why would you want to run over a cloud with ships that could end up getting triple ioned or something like that? Well, that's where Dooku comes in. You use the Dooku force to declare a blank as you run over the cloud and break the locks. Don't get ioned.
You can't do that.
Yeah, Dooku is attack rolls only.
Yeah, now.
Similarly, in efforts to stop fortressing, and I actually like this errata, although the whole idea of errataing all the cards is a bit an interesting topic. One errata I really do like is the Resistance Leia, because it's yet another nail in the coffin of Resistance couches being, well, I don't want to engage, I'll hide in the corner.
What's the errata on Leia?
You can't use it on a stop.
Oh, okay.
Or a reverse. It has to be like a basic or a turnaround talon, whatever sloop. I can't remember exactly how it reads, but effectively it just mitigated
I think it might just be not a non-stop. I think you can use it on a reverse. I'm not 1,000% sure, mind you, but
I know the original. You could use it on anything.
Again, trying to block is easy, and I think you're actually
and no shot. So she.
Yeah.
You have to shoot with your best shots. Oh, again, yeah. It'll be a 2 versus 3. Oh, she's taking that stress token, and she's gonna get tractored. He's gonna spend force to tractor her. Because that might actually mean a lot when it comes to green and blue shooting. I would. I mean, at most you're saving 1 health from Kagi, but
I think he's sacrificing Kagi here to take another swing at killing ZZ.
Kagi is he's 6 points. Oh wow. Okay,
you've got a 3-point lead, mind you, so that 5 points might be more beneficial to pick up.
And Kagi is being trailed anyway by the gank.
Yeah, I mean, I don't just like. There's nothing Kagi can do to survive here, so like, you might as well. Oh, it was a jam. Giving ZZ the dice, but taking away that first thing. I don't like that because Kagi's got to shoot first.
I like just shoot at the back. Don't bother shooting at the front.
Yeah, correct. Good.
Oh yeah, well ZZ shoots first anyway.
Yeah, there's
that's right.
Do, but I forgot. Yeah, I don't like this.
1 die with weapons failure, right?
Oh yeah. Hold on a second. ZZ has weapons failure.
Yep, I remembered.
Okay. Alright, so they're gonna reroll that. And it gets worse. As always gets worse. Man.
Okay.
But hey, let's go, Kagi. Good job, Kagi. Avoids that damage.
Yeah,
They
now
need to
she
fix
changed
the
the
Java
token.
cybernetics thing. The infinite stopping gauntlets need to go away forever, please. AMG. AMG, please. AMG, listen to me! Alright, so ZZ should be able to take a token now. Gonna take the focus. See, I'm an evade boy at heart.
Yeah. Especially on 3 dice, the math is a slightly better in favor of 8. 4 dice is where the math gets slightly better for focus.
So since Catherine's up, it should be Teza who gets the next shot. Teza does have a double modded attack coming in to Kagi.
Yep.
Does anyone know who Kagi is?
The Emperor's shuttle pilot, right? Let me look at the card.
I don't.
think that's
I
the
literally
actual-
don't know. Like if Kagi ever
Yeah, it
appeared
says
on
the
screen.
Emperor shuttle pilot. I think Kagi's a gal from Extended Material I've seen. No, Kagi's a dude. Kagi was an individual who works for Emperor Chief Palpatine shortly. No, after he referred to Palpatine. Okay. No, Wikipedia doesn't mention gender. That it's first mentioned in 2005 Revenge of the Sith. What? That's not right. Oh, tell Captain Kagi to prepare my shuttle for immediate takeoff. Okay. So apparently he's been around for a while flying that shuttle.
Oh, he was a clone. Kagi was a human male clone trooper in the service of the Galactic Republic during the Clone Wars, holding the rank of captain. In 19 BBY, following the formation of the Galactic Empire, Kagi was tasked with preparing Emperor Palpatine's Theta-class shuttle for departure. Okay. Kagi it is.
He's probably super old then, considering how rapidly clones age.
That's 2 hits.
Captain Rex old, which again isn't particularly old, but in a movie called Star Wars, a bit old for the military.
1 more into Kagi. Kagi down to 3. I'll be surprised if Kagi ends up living on this.
Yeah, that was part of why I was thinking you just go sacrifice that fourth to kill ZZ.
Yeah. 3 dice into 3 dice on ZZ. For a crit.
ZZ should
ZZ just
probably
needs some
find.
paint, and if she doesn't get paint, she gets heroic to try and get paint. Which is why
Well, she can't. She's not a force user, so she can't modify outside of heroic. Well, not at all. Her range 0 defense, right?
you can modify defense no matter
Oh,
what.
okay.
It's just offense that you can't. Was he in Lords of the Sith book? I don't remember. I don't think so because everyone on that ship, everyone on the shuttle with Vader and Palpatine died except for the 1 royal guard.
Vader has a tendency of killing witnesses.
Well, Vader didn't kill him. The Emperor set it up. It turns out.
Oh yeah, he set it up, but just in general, like Vader kills a lot of people who are alone in the room with him. Like
Yeah.
if you're in a Star Wars comic
never go
and
to
you're
a
alone
meeting.
in the room with Vader, leave that room.
Gosh, blanks again. Veteran turret gunner doesn't have ZZ, can take a shot maybe into green here. 2v0. Gosh, not rolling.
Well, there's
well
one
the
if you want
offense
it.
there.
Yeah.
Spends the focus for 1. Green takes a shield. That feels underwhelming.
You just go for the 2v4 at 2v5 at ZZ and hope for justice.
Yeah, just don't go in the room. If Vader calls you for a meeting, leave. Just leave the ship. You're not, like, more dead. Ooh, double crits disease.
Sometimes it's not even like you have dirt on him or know something about his past. It's just that,
You were
you're
there
in the
when he
mood,
didn't feel strong, and now he's pissed.
or you were in the same room, looking the same stained glass window of the Victory Parade at Naboo, and he's just pissed because now he's thinking about his time before the suit.
Yeah.
Like, that's my dead wife, destroys painting, everything is in there.
One shield into Tezza.
Which, considering how late into the game it's getting, probably won't matter.
It does not matter at all, I think. All right. This is range 1 into Kagi.
This will be the big point swing. Which would be like just a 1-point net swing if ZZ died, but a lot of people base their existence in X-Wing on what if ZZ actually died.
Yeah, that's famous last words of anyone going against the Resistance. Well, what if I kill ZZ?
That's one of the reasons why First Order of Honors are so cool. It's like you say, no, ZZ, you die. You don't even get to roll dice against this. You just die.
And Kagi is dead.
And there's the numerical change. We'll see not only just firepower change, but also how quickly objectives are scored change. That probably seals the game, even if ZZ dies next turn. Which is highly unlikely she doesn't, because she's going to go fast,
Yeah, there's just nothing.
evade rotates.
I don't see how ZZ would die. So
The
2
only
more points for Oscar.
possibility, like, you could say blue and green go fast, but even if they got to be first player and just go fast and not have their maneuvers interrupted by Y-Wings, Chorus is an I-1 and could mess around with their plans.
So I think the initiative roll really, really matters here between both greens. Oscar's green and Catherine's green, both I3. Whoever moves first is going to get to pick up that objective.
And this isn't the light switch flip where you can have the little game of flipping a light switch back and forth at each other. This is the salvage. So, like, first come is first serve.
Yep. And I think right now I'm going to go ahead and say that the score has irreversibly flipped.
Yeah, this is Catherine's game. So now we get to vibe for the rest of the game, which could be one turn or two. I was going to your point about green grabbing objective. Again, Chorus is the I1. Just grab it with Chorus, meaning, okay, so you can't mess around with people's maneuvers, but it means you grab that box, no one's going to grab it, they have to shoot it off you. There's a lot of value for these interactions, particularly within this mission. There's a lot of value to having an I1 of reasonable maneuverability, and these Y-Wings have both repositions, although at this positioning, the repositions don't matter. But there's a lot of incentive to have reasonably maneuverable I1s just for the purposes of grabbing objectives.
And Desi brings up the point that the green aggressor here for the Empire already has one. So can't grab another. So this is really
it's good airtime killed. We got to talk about it.
I don't think Jendon's getting over there, so I think
no, he's one banking and the.
Yeah, there's just nothing.
Otherwise,
I don't know what Oscar can do here. I really don't. And keep in mind, once they merge, all these Y-Wings have bombs.
Yeah.
Well, most of them have counter nets, but like prox mines stuff. I just
they
don't
have
think
payloads
that the
that come out
aggressors
the
can
back
hang.
sides. No.
I would start taking locks on green. You can knock green out. You can knock blue out pretty soon.
So the game's decided, and the score is pretty much going to be rather largely in Catherine's favor. But at the same time, for a meme list, not necessarily a score, but and what the score could have been and like how the game could have ended up.
Well, I mean, the dice
It
go
did
a
pretty
little
well.
bit differently.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you're able to kill ZZ at any of these points,
Yeah.
when you had her tractored, if you're able to kill ZZ in that round, this is a completely different game. But since ZZ's gonna get away, there's just nothing. Nice little 2 card there.
The range 0 attacks probably hurt low agility ships more than anything else. Because it's like the whole snapshot math curve again. It's when you're not doing mods, you want significantly more reds than they have greens. But if you just consistently have those more reds than they do greens, you don't even need that much luck to just pump out the damage at range 0.
Well, the thing is, they said range 0 shots are bad shots, and I'm just like, natively, they're just not. Like, red dice are so much better than agility dice that, like, range 0 shots are... I see people taking range 0 shots over other shots all the time.
Just if it's focus fire or strip something or objective purposes.
Yeah, any scenario where the 2 onyxes just outshoot the Ys. At this point, it would need to be like a full-on dice scenario, right? Like it would have to be like a... Yeah, they outshoot the Ys by, getting super lucky. I just don't... Because, like, the Ys are going to move and just drop Connor nets and bombs and everything on.
Also, the fact that they're Y-wings of swords, like they got 7 health, they got a pretty good whole shield.
Yeah, ratio. they're all. None of them are in danger.
It's even if they were double dicing 3 dice attacks with consistent time on like focus fire, there might be a danger. But these are double tapping 2 dice attacks that are single modded across the whole shebang. And it's against Y-wings, so probably not going to mean anything.
I think you just take target locks on blue, because blue's already super injured.
Yeah,
you get that calculate.
Misery in the game.
Yeah, you kill blue, that is pretty much game over. I think you only have 2 things, so, you got to go another turn. But I just don't... After Kagi died, I just don't see a path for Oscar here.
Yeah.
I mean, it was going to be an up. Oh God, what a move!
That's really good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. 'Cause that's a Connor net next turn, so you really only need to do 2 damage to blue. You can leave the Connor net to do the other damage and focus on green, knock green down, and just win the game.
And this is like going back to like her 2.0 skills with the Y-wings. This is like what we're talking about with Catherine just being so good with the Y-wing. Like people see a brick, she sees something with 180 degrees of arc, and that can just jam things up and then drop a bomb. And if you're really good with positioning, especially relative to rocks, you can do all of that at once. It is just masterfully done by her this turn. I know it doesn't matter in terms of the game outcome, but it definitely deserves applause.
So this should just be an evade boost.
Yeah.
Because the only way you really let back into the game right now is by getting ZZ killed.
Or boost, rotate, shoot, get the evade, and just not die. As she's going for the token stack, focus, rotate, I guess.
God, choose violence, love it. Aggression.
Violence with the 1-die cannon.
Aw, boo.
Oh, good move.
It's fine.
Again,
it's the right
evade,
thing to do.
Evade gain for life. The focus is mathematically better for gaining more evades, but an evade's an evade, particularly against 2 dice. So.
All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. The shots should come in now. We do have 2 games for you tonight. Game 2 features Lou the Lunatic versus Theo Man. We've got some cards to give away.
Theo Man, as in Josh Rolinski?
I don't know his name.
Because I know we share similar opinions about 2.5 and express them, but I think it's funny how I'm commenting on 2.5 tonight and he's playing in it tonight. If it's the same Theo man I'm thinking of.
I really don't know, but like, my personal feeling is like you can play the game and not feel great about it, and
Yeah.
I don't know, people
Well,
are just
for
like
me, it's
so obsessed.
opportunity cost. Like, when I could be playing, I could play another game, or I can talk with Greg while watching people play a game.
Sure, I mean, I just want people to play something they enjoy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like anyone should have to be forced to play something they don't want to.
No.
So like, just play what you
Which
like.
is why I respect the people who are like, I'm never going back to 2.0 after 2.5 is like, you found something you like? Good. Keep at it.
Yeah,
Similarly, the people who aren't playing 2.5 because they don't like how it is, I think the shaming of them for not playing it is kind of ridiculous.
I think everyone kind of sucks.
Yeah, we all suck. Evolving out of the trees was a really bad idea.
Yeah, well, like both groups just kind of like hate each other. I'm just like, why? Just like fucking play, like find your people, play what you want. Like, why does it
Yeah.
matter? That's why I don't get like, ooh, okay, well, that's into.
Because it's the us versus them, the most basic human tribalism.
Yeah, it's just silly.
Yeah. I think a lot of it gets caught up, and now we're talking about ancient human psychology. Might as well bring how gods get started in religions and wars of religion. But a lot of people don't really get the nuance on either side of, I hate this version, but I don't necessarily hate you. Like a lot of people take a criticism or attack on the preferred version of the game to be a criticism or attack on themselves as people.
The Sonic Squadron doing a
Probably because
decent job of evading, taking
he's
two
still
shots.
bleeding slowly and going to die because he's down to 1 HP though.
Yeah, well, it's down to one, and it's gonna take a. You can just leave him be, take
Yeah,
a
counter
Connor
net.
net.
Yeah. Look at this net that I just found.
All right, Jendon, make it
I was wrong
rain.
about Zendon not getting arc. But again, Y-Wings, they can tank if needed to.
Who can name the book where Connor nets first appeared? A little bit of Star Wars trivia for you. Who can name the book where Connor nets are first mentioned? It's one shield down on yellow. It's
Was
not
it
going to get it
Shadows
done.
of Was it Shadows of the Empire 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Incorrect.
Ah, dang. Lost my nickel in that bet.
You did. You did. I charged you. Jeopardy rules. Negative points.
Did you hear the story of why Jeopardy's gimmick started?
No.
Way back when, early days of American game show television, they'd intentionally send answers to contestants, like to try to even out the score to make it exciting to keep the people watching and get those brand deal sponsorships going. And they'd also pay contestants to like throw the questions and stuff. And this was all scandal or whatever. Well, I mean, like everyone is upset, but like the people involved with making the show are like, we didn't promise a fair game, we promised entertainment. So when Jeopardy, which is supposed to be like a fair version of these kind of games, starts off, like their gimmick was like, well, we can't. The people wouldn't think about us feeding answers to the questions if we make people answer the questions. I mean, question the answers. So
Yeah.
Jeopardy's most defining gimmick was based out of everything being rigged back in 1950s game shows.
So Hickman says it sounds like the third Thrawn book from the OG trilogy, but I haven't seen the name of that book in chat. That's what I'm saying.
Ah, dang it.
What's the name of that book?
So I was actually close for saying. Well, no, that's never.
No, you
no,
weren't. You were nowhere near.
I was confusing Thrawn with Dash Rendar.
You don't get no half credit on that. You got Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and
These nuts.
You guys got to know your Star Wars EU trivia. Thrawn treason, Hickman says. That's hilarious. Well done.
Thrawn 3, Thrawn treason.
Well, that is the third book from Thrawn, but it's the new Thrawn trilogy.
There we go.
A10 Air Knights got it. Oh, ZZ took a crit there. It's a fuel leak.
So A10, how do you
still alive?
A10, how do you feel about the non-existence of the A10 in 2.5, meaning the K-Wing? Loadout values of 4 or whatever they are. I hope I didn't trigger your PTSD.
And I think that is Red taking 2 shields. So congratulations, you finally got shields down on a Y-Wing.
It is defensive resistance Y-Wing, so their shield hull ratio is the best of any Y-Wing.
And I think there's still a shot to come from blue. Oh, we got green too. Okay. Range 1 into green. 3v2.
So, which opponent brought the asteroids?
I don't remember. All I know is that
Because-
Gannon's going over it next turn.
I wasn't thinking about it from a tactical perspective. I was thinking they look really nice with your custom Nickel City asteroid. I mean Starfield.
That's why
Like
that's
the
why I
blue
chose
tints
that
around it.
color, because originally like those asteroids weren't in the game, but like when black maps, I have a hard time seeing the obstacles. Like the debris and the asteroids, I had a hard time seeing it. So that's why I went with the blue map, because it pops them off a little bit better.
So my problem with the maps often is not so much the obstacles, but bombs, because the bombs have a black background, which doesn't matter in person, but online where you don't have like the 3-dimensional objects with the borders and stuff, you're like, here's a shape that you might find. I remember in our game, in one of the Gold Squadron online events, like Max and I switched the map two different times because he had so many bombs and they were just not really visible based on where they were dropped.
Hickman says, you know, I was gifted a sub when I first watched you. I like you enough that even though you have poor taste in pizza, I'll probably continue my sub. Which, A, thank you. But B, I kind of have great taste in pizza. Like, I actually like pizza, whereas the rest of you are all about that deep dish cake life. That terrible concoction from Chicago. Don't let ZZ
It's
win.
not even the Chicago pizza. Like, Chicago pizza's thin crust style, which is the exact opposite of deep dish lasagna.
No one on earth thinks Chicago pizza is thin crust. There's not a one person.
The thin crust places in Chicago do. They'll say we're the Chicago pizza, thin crust style, all that stuff.
Yeah, they can say whatever they want, but if you talk to someone like, what's the pizza in Chicago? They don't go, oh, it's thin crust. Perception matters. There's,
Perception
Gamma
is
Gen
reality.
Ion. Sure is.
That is the tagline for a pretty good game that you should probably check out and play on stream next time that you're just doing video games, Superliminal. So the whole gimmick of that game is you have objects of relative size, and you have physics puzzles and just move objects around. And based on camera angles, those objects change size.
So let me explain something.
Thank you for the redeem.
Deep dish pizza is not only not better than New York pizza, it's not pizza.
Thank you, Axel, for getting that in. I was about to do it. So I appreciate you spending the $1,000 to do it. Listen, if you think that I am above fighting my subscribers about deep dish pizza, you are wrong. There are some things in life that I am just not above. And this is one of them. Catherine opens up a 15 to 12 point lead, and I got to imagine all the bombs and stuff happening this turn is going to be brutal.
That is time.
Subroot says he's saving nickels. They're not nickels. You don't have to spend nickels for it, Subroot. They're channel points. It's different.
You should have Shilling City next week. Maybe that might be a bit traitorous considering how Buffalo is in Nickel City and the Mint and all that, but just have a different currency like that's coin based or whatever, and just gradually add more currencies to the whole channel system.
Yeah, we should really. That is something we should do. When, hey, I brought the Chicago deep dish pizza. Say that, Mark.
Hey, I brought the Chicago deep dish pizza.
Me 6, beam me up.
I didn't bring any fake pizza.
Wait. Okay, now say that.
Oh yeah, I have my delicious deep dish pizza, Nick. I mean,
No, the
Greg.
other one. Hickman says, see, I'm a fighter. I'll argue about anything. The free toothbrush you get from the dentist, my brand is better than yours. A10 Air Knight says, fun seeing Catherine run the Resistance version of this. Usually I've seen her run a Rebel version. Yeah, I think she's pretty famous for the Rebel Wise. But making the Resi Wise work. Ghost Blanco asks, is this the first or second game? First game, Ghost. We've got one more coming at you.
So while we're discussing fake pizzas, imposter pizzas, I'm looking at the history of what's considered Chicago-style pizza, and even from a quick Wikipedia search, so thin crust pizza is argued by different localities as to who owns it, and it's just generically called tavern-style pizza, and deep dish has the redirect to Chicago-style pizza.
You're goddamn right.
I guess
that city that no one will ever shut up about. Take your bean, take your bad pizza, take your hot dogs, which are just fucking hot dogs with peppers on them. I'm sick of this shit. It's not a Chicago-style dog. You put celery salt on something, it doesn't make it good.
They put a lot of good stuff on the hot dogs, but
they put mustard, sports pepper, and celery salt. And they're like, look at this unique thing. It's a fucking hot dog with celery salt. Everyone puts pickles and onion on shit. That's not even.
My point is the Chicago style dog, like, it's pretty good, but it's generally lacking in the tomato taste, and that's why you have to put ketchup on it, regardless what the Chicagoans say.
Oh, they'll fucking kill you if you put ketchup on it.
They didn't the last time I was in Chicago.
Yeah, well, they have a hit on you. You don't know it. That's the problem. And that's a Connor net. Blue's gonna die. That brings Catherine up to 19 points. So the end of this turn is the guaranteed W. But we knew that was going to be a W since Kagi died.
And that's why we were arguing about... Well, we're agreeing upon pizza, but arguing about
this game
hot
could
dogs.
be 2020 right now, and I would still be ranting about the Chicago food.
2020, the score and the year, just argue about Chicago-style food for
literally nothing
years.
on this planet could have stopped me.
Well, I remember even back on the Tri-City tournament in that Discord, and that was like over a year ago, you were arguing with Nick about food.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like, Nick likes his city, and that's fine. Like, you're allowed. But, like, thinking that Chicago food is some, like, masterpiece of culinary excellence, oh, get out of here.
Well, what was funny about Candy Clarinetist was he's originally from Chicago, but he was also somewhat of a realist about the food. So he was kind of torn, like, hey, I like the food, and maybe it might not be the world's best at anything, but I think there's value in there.
Oh, Jendon tried to avoid things and ran over several obstacles. So, Jendon taking one. And then we'll have to roll again to see if it gets ionized. Takes the ion. And then he gets to static discharge veins them?
Might as well. You brought the car. You're not suffering any points for doing it. Hey, if you manage to use a third or maybe a half of your equipped upgrade cards in a 2.5 game, you deserve a little battle of Yavin medal.
Yeah, static discharge this on yellow. Why not?
That sounded wrong.
Hey. Green moving forward. Green couldn't give a shit.
Well, he could next turn with his mine. Because he still
There
has
is
one
no
active.
next turn.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Give me Nathan's with mustard and onions only, please.
Nathan for
me-
you.
Give me nothing. I
Yeah,
think it's
Nathan for
Nathan's
Ghost
hot dog.
Blanco. Hey, I know you've talked about Nathan for you, but have you seen Tim Robbins' I Think You Should Leave?
No, I have not seen that.
It's a really good sketch comedy show. It's all the humor is all centered around people acting awkward or cringy. It's beautiful.
Is that where the sloppy steaks sketch comes from?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I've
When he
seen that.
used to be a big piece of shit.
Catherine going full Cobra Kai, no mercy here, taking up all the objectives.
Might as well just put these Onyx Squadron aggressors out of their misery.
Should decline to shoot.
Actually, that'd save the most time and just get to the end of the game.
I kind of wish people would do that, to be honest, when the game's like already over, just like, yeah, all right. But I understand not. Like, I get why not. So, why no discharge? Because it doesn't matter.
When I play Dark Souls or board games with other people, because like that's a game you could play by yourself or just play with other people. When I do that, like if we have stat lines that almost guarantee you clear a room, we just skip that room. Like get the rewards for the room, don't even bother with it. And that's only if like it's kind of noticeable. Like yeah, pretty much the gear makes this room completely superfluous and nothing matters here. It keeps a lot of downtime away from the game, saves a lot of time, just keeps it more exciting. I'd like to see more of that in like tabletop games like this in Warhammer or whatever, where like if something's not going to matter, just skip it. But I see the incentive for doing it anyway in X-Wing because particularly like the way people have been brought to think about this in like the earlier editions of the game is like you always take a shot if you have it. It's this new strange realm we're in where like there's a possibility of shots could just not matter.
I literally don't know what's happening in the game because it does not matter. There is 3 dice. Blank skis. Gets to reroll 1. Not sure why, but sounds good.
That was the Howl Runner one. Like you got one on friendlies on sandwiching them. Like that.
Okay.
That was the bad Howl Runner. Well, not bad Howl Runner. Different Howl Runner.
There are no bad Howl Runners. How dare you?
It's a larger range than Howl Runner, and it rewards high shift counts. And the way it was designed, people were thinking, "Oh, this is incredibly niche, only good for like Colossus Mechanic Swarms." But now we're in the edition of a game where like there's inevitably sandwiching and just a lot of ships around. It's actually triggering, and hey, good for her that she remembered all her triggers. That's the mark of a truly attentive player.
They're actually saying before 2.5, you'd take all the shots because MOV mattered. But MOV
definitely.
is not a thing anymore, so it does not matter. So Catherine's going to score 3.
MOV miracles, just wasting people's time if you're ahead. Like, there's a lot of reasons to take shots in the previous editions of the game.
And that is going to bring Catherine the victory. 23-13 the win there for the Y-Wings. Who knew? Oh, everybody? Okay. GG's, good job, Catherine. And I gotta say, I think Oscar, like, until Kagi died, Oscar, like, really kind of kept that close and had the advantage.
He
I didn't
took a
like it.
meme list and he made it a game with a competent player with a competent list.
I agree.
Yeah,